Okay, so let's dive straight in because what we're unpicking today isn't just another story. It's a genuine enigma, really, wrapped up in some serious controversy.
Hmm.
You've probably heard bits and pieces, maybe seen a headline about this truly bizarre document, a former president, and a denial that's so strong it's actually sparked a major lawsuit.
Yeah, it's generated a lot of noise.
Exactly. And our mission with this deep dive, it isn't just to recap. It's more about sifting through all those layers, pulling out the vital bits of insight.
Trying to make sense of it.
Right. Helping you, our listener, kind of navigate this really complex information landscape with a bit more clarity. We're trying to get to the core of what's really going on here, cut through the noise and understand the deeper stuff.
Absolutely.
So at the heart of this whole whirlwind is this alleged letter, supposedly sent from former President Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein.
Right, that's the claim.
But this isn't just any old letter. Its content, the way it's presented, it's so peculiar that it just immediately sparked these, well, really strong reactions.
Which were then met with an equally forceful denial.
Precisely. So we've pulled insights from excerpts of that discussion, Rogan on Trump, Epstein in a peculiar letter, and also from public statements made directly by Donald Trump, just to give you the fullest picture we can.
Got it.
Now, this whole narrative, it really kind of exploded into the public eye through the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people first heard the specifics.
When comedian Jordan Jensen brought up this alleged letter, I mean, the conversation just, well, you can imagine it went viral pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't just the names involved, though that was obviously part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the sheer oddity, the strangeness of the document itself that really grabbed people's attention.
Yeah, and what's immediately striking, I think, is less about who it's supposedly from and to, and more about how it's presented.
How so?
Well, like you said, it wasn't your typical letter format at all. Our sources indicate it was apparently transcribed inside a drawing of a woman's body.
Which is odd enough on its own.
Right, unconventional is putting it mildly, but then it takes another really strange turn. The text itself is structured like a dialogue, almost like a play script.
A script, right?
Yeah, rather than a standard message. We're talking direct speech with names, like character names, before the lines. Donald says this. Jeffrey says that.
Wow.
That stylistic choice alone, I mean, it's incredibly rare for what's meant to be personal correspondence. It instantly flags it as something highly unusual for anyone looking at it, thinking about authenticity or intent.
And Rogan, in his usual very direct style, he actually read a specific bit of this dialogue out loud on his show.
Mm-hmm. I remember that clip.
And when you hear it, the unique sort of stilted tone, it practically jumps out at you. It goes like this. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
It's quite something to hear read aloud.
Right. And Rogan's reactions to hearing that passage were, well, exactly what you probably expect.
Yeah.
Just total credulity.
Yeah, he didn't mince words.
Not at all. He famously burst out with, who fucking talks like this?
Mm-hmm.
And then later, even more emphatically, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Strong stuff.
And Jordan Jensen, the comedian who was on with him, she really hit on a key point, didn't she? Observing it was structured like a script rather than, say, a simple birthday message.
Yeah, that distinction is important.
And Rogan just completely agreed, called it very odd stuff. And that feeling, that reaction, it clearly resonated with millions of people who heard it.
Understandably so.
There was another line, too, that particularly stuck out, both for Rogan and, I think, for anyone who heard it. It reads, "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. May every day be another wonderful secret."
Another wonderful secret.
Yeah. Rogan's personal take on that was just as blunt. He basically said if a friend sent him something like that, his point thought would be, I'd be like, I'm getting a new number.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the kind of gut reaction, the human response this alleged letter provoked.
And it's those visceral reactions, actually, that raise some pretty important analytical questions for us. Like, why does a message like this, supposedly between two people, even two well-known figures, adopt such a theatrical and cryptic style?
Right. It's so far from normal.
Exactly. It deviates so dramatically from typical correspondence that it instantly triggers, well, skepticism. Think about it. Our everyday communication, even just informal notes, usually follows certain conventions, right?
Sure. A greeting, the point, a sign-off.
Yeah. A greeting, a clear message, a closing. When a document just veers so far off that path and embraces this sort of philosophical or enigmatic phrasing in a script format, it really challenges our basic understanding of what genuine personal communication looks like.
So from like a language analysis perspective.
Yeah, exactly. From a forensic linguistics perspective, such an unusual communication pattern is it's a significant red flag. Experts usually look for consistent, predictable, stylistic choices in authentic documents.
Things that match how someone normally writes or speaks.
Precisely. This alleged letter, though, with its performative dialogue and these almost poetic, cryptic lines, it immediately suggests a deliberate departure from someone's natural writing or speaking voice. It really forces you to ask, okay, is this some kind of intentional artistic choice? Is it a weird private joke, or is it something else entirely?
And finding the answer to that is pretty crucial.
Absolutely crucial when you're trying to evaluate its true intent or, its actual origin.
Okay, that's a perfect segue, actually. Because here's where the whole story takes a really major turn. Given how peculiar this document is and those very public reactions it generated, the alleged author, the person it's attributed to, hasn't just brushed it off. He's flat out denied its authenticity.
And not just denied it, but taken serious action.
Exactly, taken significant, concrete action in response to it being published.
Precisely. And we're not talking about just, a quick social media rebuttal here. Former President Donald Trump has unequivocally denied authoring this alleged letter.
Unequivocally.
And his response wasn't just verbal. He's actually initiated legal action. Specifically, he is suing the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally for reporting on it.
Suing the Journal and Murdoch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he didn't hold back. In a July post on Truth Social, Trump made his position crystal clear. He stated, and this is the direct quote, "The Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was a fake, and if they print it, they will be sued."
So a direct warning, then the lawsuit.
Exactly. And this statement, followed by the actual lawsuit, it really elevates the whole debate about authenticity far beyond just public opinion or online chatter.
Right. It puts it in a legal arena.
It transforms it into a legal challenge, forcing a much more rigorous examination of evidence than, online arguments usually achieve. For the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch, this is obviously not a small thing.
No, the stakes are incredibly high.
Huge stakes. Such a lawsuit implies significant financial and reputational risk for them. They would need to be very confident, standing by their reporting with substantial proof that the document's authentic.
Otherwise, they face serious defamation claims.
Exactly. Serious legal repercussions for defamation. The burden of proof in these cases, it's high. It involves things like forensic analysis, expert testimony on where the document came from, and a really robust defense against libel claims.
It really highlights the challenge for news outlets.
It really does. It underscores the immense challenges news organizations face when reporting on contentious material, especially when it involves prominent public figures who are ready and willing to use the full force of the law to fight back against claims they dispute.
Yeah.
This legal move, it isn't just about a letter. It's really about controlling the narrative. It's about the verification process in journalism, and maybe even the very definition of truth in public discourse.
That's a powerful message.
A very powerful message about how a public figure plans to combat what they see as, fabricated content.
Okay. So if we try to pull all these different threads together, what does this whole complex situation mean for us? For you, the listener, trying to navigate this media landscape where claims and counterclaims are just debated so fiercely.
It's tricky.
Yeah. We have this alleged document that is, by any standard, highly unusual. Weird content, weird presentation.
Definitely unusual.
We've seen those strong, incredulous public reactions from influential people like Joe Rogan, highlighting just how peculiar it is.
The gut reaction.
And then, on the other side, you have this equally strong, legally backed denial from the very person it's attributed to, former President Trump, basically asserting it's completely fake, fabricated.
A total rejection.
It creates this picture where the core tension isn't just about what the letter means if it's real, but fundamentally about whether it even exists authentically in the first place.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, what we've really unpacked today is it's almost a classic case study in how we evaluate information.
Right.
We started with this document, truly peculiar style and content, which immediately raised eyebrows and got these candid, almost universal reactions about its strangeness.
Like the who talks like this reaction.
Yes, exactly. Then we moved to former President Trump's unequivocal denial, importantly backed by a major lawsuit against a major media outlet. So the central tension, really, is the authenticity. Is this alleged letter real?
And the implications are huge either way.
Huge. If it's genuine, it reveals a highly unconventional, cryptic form of communication between two individuals who have, rightly or wrongly, been under intense public scrutiny. The implications would be pretty profound, suggesting a relationship and a communication style that just defied normal expectations.
And if it's fake.
Conversely, if it is indeed a fake, as Trump vehemently insists, then it represents a significant act of misrepresentation, a fabrication, which leads to this high-stakes legal battle that really challenges journalistic integrity and, frankly, the public's perception of truth.
Yeah.
So it's not just about a letter. It really speaks to the broader environment where information, whether it's verified or not, can gain immense traction and potentially be weaponized.
Right. And just to be clear, our aim here wasn't to take sides or say this is true or this is false.
Not at all.
Instead, our goal was really just to present the details as they were reported and as they were denied, to allow you, the listener, to weigh the information for yourself rather than just accepting a headline at face value.
Giving context.
Exactly. Understanding the full scope of the claims and the counterclaims, the nuances of the arguments, the actions people took, that's all crucial for you to form your own informed perspective. It's really about empowering you to be a more discerning consumer of information in this age where we're just bombarded constantly.
Absolutely. And considering the profoundly unusual nature of this alleged letter, the strong public reaction it sparked, and then this vehement denial from such a prominent public figure escalating into a major lawsuit, this whole deep dive, it really highlights a critical challenge for all of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, what does it truly mean for us when a document's authenticity is so fiercely disputed, especially when it involves sensitive subjects and really influential public figures? How do we, as, informed individuals, critically evaluate these claims and counterclaims in such a charged environment?
What tools do we even have?
Right. What tools and processes do we rely on to try and discern what might genuinely be an enigma, something strange that needs more investigation from what is simply fake and maybe even malicious? This case kind of pushes us, I think, to not just consume information passively, but to actively question, to probe, and maybe to develop a more sophisticated literacy in a world that's increasingly filled with both genuine revelations and, some skillfully crafted deceptions.